Okay. And right. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining in today. Uh, just so if there's anyone new here, I'm just recapping the objective of the eMeet Your Design and Fashion School series. In this series, what we do is we interact with the top management of each school so that you have options to consider in the private design school space. Um, and you'll have good options to consider, and thereby you save money by applying to a few good schools and not just to see where your chances are, but you don't apply to any other school, any random school. You apply to a few good schools. So those who have missed the webinar on design and fashion schools to consider in 2023, please click on this link. It's available on our YouTube channel and also shared in the groups. Some of you all have asked us to do a session on portfolio and interviews. So we are doing this on 17th October, 2022 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So don't miss that. Now, some of the schools, including Strate School of Design, they do take the portfolio and interview process very, very seriously. In fact, that's their primary requirement to get into a school like Strat. So most of you all as students of DQ Labs have already been working on a portfolio, working on a range of projects. So this should help you out. Just attend this webinar on Monday and that'll be great. So today we are doing a webinar with Strate School of Design. We have Thomas Dahl, who is the dean of the school. So when I say there's top management, I mean there's top management here. So Thomas Dahl had graduated from ISD in France in 1999. He joined Treves. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Okay, I'm sure.
Trev.
Sorry?
Trev. Trev.
Okay, Trev. Okay, so it's a French automotive manufacturer. He's been the head of innovation and design for Europe, right, for Trev's. In 2008, he took a challenge to start TSK ISD, Rubika School of Design in Pune. And after 3 years of running the school, he shifted back to France to be the head of innovation and design at Decathlon, the new field brand, right? So he's been in the transportation and product design sectors. He's worked in these sectors, and he's also run his own consultancy. And he's got tremendous experience and exposure in that area, right? So he looks at a holistic approach and curiosity of both technology and social fields to ensure the success of solving the most challenges of tomorrow, right? Right. So if anyone is interested, we hope you've already started applying to Strat. The application link is here, and Strat is also listed on DQ Edge, so you can click on DQ Edge. You'll get the Strat listing there. There's information there. There is a link to Strat as well, to the application form. So make sure you click on the specific application form, because you'll reach the right team and they are there for your support, right? So please make sure that you only use this link. It will help you. And now over to Thomas to start off with his part of the presentation. Thomas, thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure for me to share some information about the design. I think the design, you will see that during my presentation, the design can save the world. So I'm very happy to be sharing about this. I'm just going to remove this. I think it's going to be better. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. So as Diane presented me, I'm Thomas. I'm heading Strate School of Design, but I'm not an academician. I'm a designer. And this is what you will see during my presentation, is that most of my teacher or my faculty inside the school are practitioners, and this is making a big difference in our school. So maybe I can start to share my screen, to show you some presentation. I've got some slides that I'm going to take you through, to give you a little more information about the school itself and how we do things in Strate. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Give me 2 seconds. Let me to start this. Up. It's always a little bit challenging to start to share the good screen and everything. Up. This is a good one. I'm just putting my presentation on, and now I can share my screen with everything. So share screen. And it will be this one. So I hope that you can see all my screen. Should be a big white logo of Strate. Dion, do you see my screen?
Yes, we can. We can hear you as well.
So let's start there. So Strate School of Design. So I'm going to admit some Strate School of Design is a school that is very old. It's more than 30 years old in France. So it's one of the most known schools in Europe for design and all over the world as well. We've got more than, now it must be 8,000 alumni all over the world. Some of them are, as you will see in the presentation, holding some very high position in the market. And we've got now 4 campuses. You will see that as well. I'm going to go through it. So I'm Thomas. As I just told you, I'm a designer. I've been working in the car industry. I'm a naval architect. I've been working in the sports industry. So I've been working as a hub director on the innovation director for Decathlon. So dealing with products, communication, retail, and UI UX services design for the group Decathlon. So I'm a little bit knowing in all different streams in this. So I've got a pretty wide experience on the design field, which is very interesting for a director of a school, I believe, in order to be sure that we are pushing in the good direction in all the streams. We are speaking about design here. So let's see what design is. So I'm asking you the question, maybe for you to think, take 2 seconds to think about what design stands for. What is the real purpose of design for you guys? What do you think design is meant for? I'm just switching on my lights, for you to see me better. So what does design stand for? Design, for most of the people, design stands for, doing some nice looking furniture, making some nice looking cars, apparels and applications. This is what design, the goal of design is to do so. This is what most of the people think, even, doing some nice looking retails and some cool looking robots. This is what design is meant for. Okay, this is what everybody thinks, but actually not at all. Design is not meant for that. This is not the goal of design. We should not do this as a goal. This is not the final goal of design. So what is? What is the final goal of design then? So the final goal of design is this. Yeah. No, it's not making babies. This is something else. The goal of design is about human life. It's about enhancing human life on Earth. So just as an example, let's think that this is a little girl, because girl needs some more help than boys these days. So this is a little girl that will need some help during her whole life, to go through the schooling time, where how design can help her to go through the schooling time better by giving her some better furniture, better clothes, better boards, better way of teaching, better systems, better apps, better all this kind of stuff that are going to help her grow. This is what design is meant for. The other things that I just mentioned are tools to reach the goal, the final goal, that is enhancing this little girl's life. Same thing when she will be a teenager. We will work to help her go through this difficult time of the teenage time, where you start to try to understand who you are and things like that. So how we can help her to set up in the group, to find herself, to read more, to to get rid of bad habits, something like that. So being herself and find her place in the world. This is what design is meant for, to enhance her life during these periods and these difficult times. Also, we will help, when the grown-ups, on all the cycle of life, finding a partner, dating, all this is something that, apps on design, on restaurants, on clothes that you choose, chairs, on design of the restaurant where you go. All these things are helping, to enhance this experience of your life. When things after, when you will deliver baby, hospital, what is your experience of hospital? Generally, it's bad, it's smelling bad, colors are a little bit scary, machines are scaring you. So how design can help you to get a good experience when you're delivering babies, when you're here and things like that. And also design should help people to live their own life, having spent time more together and having a full family life, going on holidays, how you can go, easily go and help the people to be having some family time together. Okay. Also, design is about, how you're going to make the work better, more efficient, more fast, less stressful, and have people have fun doing the work. So by making new computers, new system, new offices, new furniture, and all this kind of stuff. This is what design should do in order to help people to get less stress at work. Same thing, we are going to deal with the people that are alone and need some more help. So how can design help them with, of course, a lot of tools, machines, system, products, services, something like that. But the goal, the final goal, and I'm repeating myself again, is to help human life, okay, to enhance human life. Same thing for the older people, and same thing when the deaths arrive as well. When you have how you can enhance the memory, how you can remember, how you can help people to cope with the pain or the remembering, or all this kind of stuff. This is what design should do. Okay, it's not about objects. It's not about why creating a new something. It's about the experience that you're going to create and the experience of the human life that you're going to work. So that's why we like in Strate to call ourselves, masters of the world. Okay, don't misunderstand me here. I'm not saying that designers are the masters of the world, like the rulers of the world, like the kings. No. This is not what I meant by masters. Masters means like a master of cutlery. The one that are making knives. A knife master is the one that is excellent and know everything about the art of making knives. Okay, and this is what a master is according to my definition. And this is why I'm calling designers masters of the world. Because in order to be a good designer, you need to understand the full world, and not only how to make shoes, only how to make new pens, and that. You need to understand the full world in order to master it and to make it better. Okay. So speaking about the world, we are speaking about the world, mastering the world. But what is the world? What's coming for us? What is it? So you all know what this is. This is the planet Earth. Okay. It's a shot that has been done through one of the satellites. This is planet Earth view from space. And if you look at this in a little bit further view, this is nothing else but a small bubble of life in the emptiness of space. Okay. If you look at it in a different way as well, it's a spaceship. It's a kind of spaceship, where you've got something inside and it's moving around across the space, and everything that is inside is going to remain inside. And everything that is you are going to deal with inside is going to be dealt with what is inside. It means by that there's not, a second Earth that is going to refuel you with wood and chicken and whatever. Everything you have is everything that is inside this spaceship, and this is what we have to deal with. Okay. So, in order to go further with this idea, let's see here a curve that is a GDP curve, evolution of the GDP curve in the last 2015 years on this graph. It's an old curve. It's a 7 years old curve. You can see that the curve was flat during very, very long time, since not the beginning of course, it's even flatter before, but this is from year zero. And it's starting only to grow here, approximately middle of the 1800s, okay? So 1850. It's starting to grow, and now the more we are getting close to 2015, is getting vertical. It's called in mathematics, it's called an asymptote. So it's going toward infinity, and now we are 22, so it will be even more vertical. So it means that the growth, the activity of man on the world is going toward an infinite growth, and this is what we are doing right now. At the same time, the planet itself, this is a map of the planets in the year 00. Okay, and if you look at it, in 2020, it's exactly the same, which means that nothing has grown. There's nothing that has grown. The planet is still the same. So the activity of human on the use of resources and the creation of mankind has grown towards infinity, when the bubble that is holding us has not changed an inch. Okay, so in physics there is a call for that. It's called explosion. When you've got something growing infinitely into something that is finite, it's an explosion. Okay, and this is what exactly is ahead of us in terms of economic system. We can't sustain a growth that is infinite in a finite world. So we are facing a big issue that is coming toward us on this, crises that are coming with the Russian war and things like that, are the first lights of this change that is coming. And it already started by a lot of change, a lot of change. There are some truth-telling symptoms that are already seeing, and visible from there, from this change that is coming. So already the logistic of the full business models are changing, evolving. We are getting from an analogic world toward a digital world. This is something that has been known since the last 20 years, and the change was supposed to be smooth over the next 20 years or 30 years. But actually, I'm going, sorry. So it was known, and we knew that we were supposed to go from to recycle to a circular economy. We knew that the change had to happen in the next 30 years, okay? So we knew that we were going to have to go from one world to another. It was planned. It was something that everybody knew. Going from a world where the industry was material, pyramidal, local, regulated, enclosed. People were low educative and passive and were consuming. This is how the world was working. And now the new world will be digital, reticulated, local. I'm not going in details here. If you want me, I can slow down and explain you this, but I've got a dense presentation and we only have 1 hour. And there's a lot of questions. So deregulated, open, educated, critical, equipped people. So this is a very big change. The thinking also is going to change from analytical and segmented to synthetic and complex. There's a lot of, the world is going to be, and the industry is going to go from an industry line, like one action after the other, to a more multiple and networked system that is there. And, during this change, a big thing happened, this virus, which made us go from one world to another, but even faster than it was planned, okay? So we are going to a new world, okay? What is it? So new world, new rules. So designers will have to change, and in India, if you look at India, inside India, the change has already been very, very drastic. Before, India was having a lot of population, but not a lot of proposition for business, in terms of buying and purchase. When like 15, 20 years ago, when you wanted a grinder mixer, you had 2 or 3 options: one cheap, one super expensive that is coming from abroad, or one expensive manufactured from India. This is the only choice. And now, if you go to an Indian supermarket, you've got a lot of different, you want a grinder mixer, you've got 20 opportunities. You've got 5 cheap, 5 middle, 5 super expensive, 5 that are connected to the IoT that are super, super expensive and trendy. So the world has changed already there in India very fast. And it's even faster because India is hub of IT in the world. And we've got some very, very interesting gaps that are created in India now. You've got guys that are not educated at all, that have never been to a bank, the office bank, and that are now doing net banking through a phone without knowing even how to read properly. So this contrast in India is very interesting, where you've got some very, very talented and educated people that are using the same kind of device and offers and services than the one that are not educated. And the gaps from these people non-educated, from non-educated at all to the digital world has been huge. And this is creating a very big contrast that designers of tomorrow will have to deal with. And it's a very, very, very interesting question that is going to be. So there will be new rules. So I'm not going to go in detail of this. So there is a lot of different rules that are going to come for the new world, okay, that are going to change completely this. And these rules, in order to go to that and to be able to make them happen, you will have to change the mindset of the new generation. And of course, inside this, the new generation of designers. So it means that my way of being taught is going to be completely different to the way that new designers today need to be taught. Okay, and there are some rules for that. Always keep humanity first, not the service, not the business, but humanity. And this is really something that is something that is very important in the coming world. So, what are the skills that students will need? Okay, there is a vast range of skills that students will have to develop in order to be good designers in the future. And one of them is, and that was not there before, to be a good person. Okay, and this we will discuss it a little bit more. And this is why in Strate we are aiming, and our motto have always been making the world more simple, more just, and beautiful. So this is to give you a little bit the spirit of Strate, and our definition of design is more than a profession, more than a discipline. Design is a transformation force field embodied by demanding professional readers and thinkers of complexity, because the world is becoming more complex, producing sustainable experience, providing beauty in human lives. Of course, when we are speaking here about beauty, we are not speaking about the visual beauty, but the poetic beauty that is engulfing everything else that is beautiful in terms of good human values. Okay. Okay, it was fast. So this is the spirit of Strate. Okay. Now, Strate is an international school. And according to what we know from all our partners all over the world, now in order to be desirable in the design markets, new design students or new designers need to have a very big exposure to international. It's becoming something that is compulsory for being hired in the big companies. Okay, that's why we have a lot of different campuses all over the world in Strate in order to allow our students to move from one campus to another. So you can do 1 year in Strate Bangalore, 1 year in Strate Paris, and 1 year in Strate Lyon, then come back, go to Dakar, where we have another campuses, and you can move from one campus to another like that, because all our campuses got only one syllabus, so you can move easily from one campus to another. So international mobility is something that we are proposing in Strate. This is our Bangalore campus. I'm speaking to you from this window here, the ground one here. And this is our campus right now. This is the campus of Lyon. This is the campus of Dakar. It's not the campus, it is Dakar. The campus is a little bit behind. This is a view of the campus of Dakar. And this is the first batch of Strate. So our first pioneer 5 years ago. I told you that Strate is 5 years old in Bangalore. And we are proposing in India a graduation from India and a certification from Paris. So all our students for the BSc and the MSc will get a graduation from a university in India, and they will also get official school certificates from Strate Paris, mentioning the courses that they've been following during 2-3 years for the bachelor and 2 years for the master's. Okay, and we are focusing mostly in experience, service, space, system, interface, and object in 4 departments. Okay, mobility design, which is car and mobility design, so car, bikes, trucks, tractors, spaceships, submarines, and drones, on all the mobility, small mobility systems. We've got product design that is dealing with everything else. It means fans, electronic items, on gadgets, chairs, some apparels, fashion accessories, furnitures, you name it, everything else. Yeah, completely everything else. We've got identity design that is dealing with the relationship between a brand and its customer. So in all the medias, it means it can be visual, it can be the brochures, can be catalog, can be the website, can be the social medias, can be everything. You know, it can be the retail, can be the way the sales force are dressed inside the shops. It can be all this. You know, all this is part of the identity that we are dealing in Strate. It's not about only visual communication, it's about everything else. It's about really how the big brands or the small brands are showing themselves to their customer and how we are going to deal with all this. And there is the last one that is interaction design. And interaction design is about the relationship between human to human or human to machines through all the technology that is available now. AR, VR, sound recognition, voice recognition, immersive technologies, all this kind of stuff, how you're going to interact with the machine in the future. And this needs to be, so it's a very, very interesting and passionate departments dealing with all the AIs and data and all this kind of stuff. It's very interesting, but not as an engineer, more as a architect of how all this will work, as a designer for this, not as an engineer. Okay, so these are the 4 departments. And next year, we are going to launch space design, which is a mix between a little bit of architecture, a little bit of interior design, and a little bit of urbanism. All this mixed together to make what we call here in Strate space design. So it will interior design, basically. Okay. So this is a bit of the syllabus, how it works. So we've got 5 years, 3 years of bachelor, 2 years of masters. We've got courses divided in 2 semesters, and we've got here internships all along. Okay, 4 internships in total. We've got some industry projects and master thesis here in blue. This is a master, and in gray, it's the major. So basically, the 2 first year in Strate are not specialized. It means that, we notice that most of the students that are coming to us when they are 17 or 18 years old, they don't know really what they want to do in design. They just know that they want to do some creative stuff. They want to be designers. They want to be designers, or they want to do something. They don't know product design, interaction design. They don't know really well. So we are not asking them to choose. We are giving them 2 years where they are going to be able to choose only after that. So during 2 years, students are learning all the big basics and fundamentals of design. Because, between graphic design and space design or car design, all the basics are nearly 70% the same. So during these 2 years, we are covering all the basics, the tools, the softwares, the spirit, the methodology, the processes, all this kind of stuff are doing the same. And we are exposing the student to all of the 5 streams. They have to do projects in all the 5 streams: product, transport, identity, interaction, and space design, in order for them to understand what these departments are all about, and to understand what the design journey will be in these fields. So in first year, they are exposed to the 5. In the second year, they have to choose only 3 out of the 5, whereas they're going to go deeper into the understanding. And at the end of the second year, students will choose 1 specialization. And during the third year, so here is the choice of specialization. And during the third year, they are going to specialize completely, super hardcore, super quick, super fast, super hard, because all the fundamentals will be acquired. So we can be very, very quick and very efficient during this specialization year to lead to the first internship, where they're going to apply everything that they will have learned before. And this will end their bachelor. And after that, they will go for the master if they want, okay, which is what we advise, but it's not compulsory. It's an integrated master, but there is an escape after BSc if you want. And the master will start with an international, compulsorily international internship, where we are going to send our students abroad. And after that, they will do the master thesis, a graduation project, and everything will be done in order to graduate in 5th year. Okay, and after that, after the 5th year, we'll give them a pre-employment internship in order to help them to get a placement in the big international companies all over the world. Okay, so this is so these are the 4 internships that we are proposing. So internship last year were very interesting. We had students of BSc in design that had up to the stipend of 60,000 rupees per month. Okay, you heard it well. Some students were placed in some companies where they were earning as a stipend for non-even graduate bachelor students of 60,000 rupees per year in India, and have been onboarded by companies. So some of them have been onboarded, and one of them has been offered a job in Munich, so in Germany, for the equivalent of 45,000 euros a year, which is approximately 38 lakhs or 39 lakhs per year for bachelor students of 3 years from Strate. The others have been offered jobs that are going from 12 to 28 lakhs, and this one was really above. Okay, so this is what's happening at Strate, but most of our students have been continuing to the master, because this is where the value is for Strate. So we had a lot of other placement. This is the placement of this year batch. Okay, we've seen that already. We are working a lot in the school with industry. It means that all our projects, the projects we are doing, we are very hands-on. So it means that we are not going a lot of theory. We are mostly working on projects that are given by companies. It means that all these companies are coming to the school and they are saying, okay, Thomas, can you have your student working on the project with us on this topic? So we've got all this, Decathlon asked us to work on a new way of carrying the groceries during the shopping in their supermarkets. Both ask us to make a new listening device that is completely new and that's going to be inspired in the new models that is going to come next year. Bugatti Rimac asked us to work on the next interior of the new prototype that is going to be launched next year. HP, we work on some confidential stuff. So we work on the experience of fooding inside the company, so on. Okay, for DesignWorks, we work on a supercar for BMW DesignWorks USA, and so on. Okay, and we have got guest speakers also coming from our networks that are coming to speak with the school for master classes, for discussions, for everything coming from everywhere. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list. There is more than 250 speakers that have come through the 5 last years, so approximately 50 per year, 1 every week. And something that is very different from Strate is faculties are not teachers. I mentioned this at the beginning. We don't have, professors in Strate. We have designers that are being designers, that are being heading big design studios, that are being super skilled designers that want to share. So we don't have people that are just graduating and coming to teach, because we have only people that have got more than 5 to 10 years experience, mostly 10, more than 5, coming to teach. The reason why we want that is because we believe that what is missing in the design education right now is the fact that designers, when they reach the companies, they are not ready to work. So companies have to train them. So by having a lot of teachers that are coming from corporate, we are assessing the level according to our corporate desires and our corporate needs already. So it means that we are making our students ready for employment and ready for work. So companies that's why, since last 2 years, where our seniors are starting to go to the industry, companies are coming more and more to us because they have realized and they've understood that our students, when they join them, they are efficient, they are working, and they got value for money for the recruitment that they do from Strate students. So this year we have more demands of employments than we can provide students, and for internship as well. Okay, so our teachers, it's also changing completely the spirit of the school, because we don't have teachers that want to be teachers. We've got mentors that are that are designers that just design with you. It's like the difference between a coach that is sitting on a bench shouting at the cricket team and the captain of the team that is playing with them. So our teachers are more the captains that are running in the field with the students on the project for the companies, sharing their knowledge, showing them, able to do themselves, or not just sharing the theory. So it's really making a big difference on the spirit in the school. Okay, so I'm not going to go through our team, but we've got a team of super good. If you want, we can go through this after. I'm just trying to make this short. So past success, we had a lot of awards. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we had a lot of awards along the years for different big companies, big competitions, Red Dots, things like that, fashions on AI and all this kind of stuff. So these are our batch. This is the first batch that are now in the year 5 that are going to graduate this year. This is some images of what's happening in the school. This is how we teach in the school. This is our year 4 actually in internship. This is year 4 and year 5. This is the new batch that came in 2021, the first batch after pandemic. And this is this year intake that came. Okay, so we are having a lot of fun. This is how the courses are happening in the school. Yes. So some images quickly of what's happening in the school. This is a big boss of a big company that has visited us. Arman, it's a Samsung company for all the product design and interaction design of Samsung that visited us and recruited some of our students. Okay, these are some activities that we are doing. These are some work of the projects of the students, some very nice stuff. Swati was head of design for Bugatti color and trim. We are working a lot with VR headsets now in the school for all the experience stuff. We've got a lot of prototyping tools. We are working with big companies. This is a very big company. I can't disclaim the name, that is doing some stainless steel food items. We are making mock-ups. We are having a lot of online. We are making some mock-ups to try some new stuff for boats, online courses. These are the year 2 first experience of rendering and designing some everyday objects. These are some courses online that we had with masterclass of Akash Dewan from HP, and Kumar is an experienced designer here around. We made some apps, for sports. We make some work with students where we will send whatever exploration of color of skins for a lot of things, graphics design. We are building some sculpture inside the school, different stuff. We are also making some wearable IoT devices with prototyping on Arduino or Raspberry Pi. So students have got to make the prototype working. So this is the prototype that is working and blinking and things like that. So this is how we visualize it, the presentation of the work. Okay, and here you will see some random work from year 1 to the final years. Okay, so this is drawing of year 1, drawing of yes, still year 1, year 1, year 1. This is starting to be year 2, year 2, year 2, modern prototypes, year 2, year 2. This is starting to be project in year 2. This is starting to be at the end of year 2, starting to be year 3. This is a system understanding of the students, how to make some visualization, of how you understand the system, how you explain complexity during your explanation of your projects, and you make people understand what's happening. Some work of year 3 students. Yes, to still year 3. I think year 3. This is year 4 students. Still year 4. This is year 4. Sorry, I'm going too fast, maybe. Your 4 students. This is some UI UX analyze of experience, something like that. This is also some visualization that we've done for a full how can I say that? A full app, a full system of app actually that we've developed for a company here. That is you're going to maybe see in 1 year, the time for them to develop. It's a full infrastructure that is going to be immersive and using I don't know how to call it anymore. The word is not coming back to me. The metaverse. Sorry, it's going to use the metaverse in order to use some app. Okay, so we shared this already. Sorry. So yes. One of the big challenges I told you about, changing the humanity. We spoke about this, the values that have changed the world, and all these jokes. The COVID have changed our lives like a wave. It took us unprepared, and it changed completely our life. People were not expecting this, and say, "Oh, wash your hand and everything will be good." And COVID just washed everything. The business have changed, the economy have changed, everything have changed. But what people don't know is that after the COVID, there is a recession that is coming. We are in the beginning of it. So it's going to be another change in all our way of living. But after the recession is going to be done, we have a climate change crisis that is going to happen. And then we have got a biodiversity collapse that is going to happen. So it means it's the next, it's not me, I'm just giving you some facts that are coming from my readings and my understanding, is that in the next 25 to 30 years, we will have 4 big, huge change of the way the society are working today. So it means that when I was telling you that we need to go from one world to another, actually what we need to do is going from one world to another and another and another and another in the next coming 30 years. In order to do that, students will need to be ready for change, for huge change, for a lot of big change, and they will need to be ready to not only evolve the society from one idea that you evolve to something else that is better, but to create new concepts from scratch that are not linked towards the past. So because the society will need it in the coming year. And this is something that we are in Strate getting our students ready for, to create something new from scratch instead of just evolving things, like iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone 8. No, what's next? What's next after the iPhone? What is the next stuff that is coming? And to do so, we are also very, how can I say that, aware of the 17 UN United Nations Sustainable Goals, and all our projects in the school need at least to tackle 2 of these 17 goals in order to be something that we accept to deal with. If they are not touching this, we are not working on this in the school because we've got some values, and we believe that 2 of these as a minimum designers need to take care of in order to change the world in the good way. Okay, we saw that already. So yeah, the world we spoke about it. The world is going to be digital, so there will be a lot of access to information and a lot of technologies that are going to come. And the new challenges of the new designers will be to take care of the information. We'll have over information, we'll have mass communication, algorithm bottlenecks, and tough thought standardization is going to happen through all this algorithm. And there will be free short certifying design course online. There will be entertaining and self-promoting will be the values that people are going to care about, the social medias and things like that. So there will be a lot of fake news. So these digital truths are going to be what's going to be in the future of the new students, which is completely different from what was happening 5 years ago. So there is a huge change in the mindset of the students that we need to take care when we are going to elaborate the design courses of tomorrow, because there is a lot of things that are going to happen. Also, there is a lot of technology that are involved now, which is a new process, new material, new tech, new researches. This is parametric engineering. It means that this has not been calculated by a man, but by an AI. You just input some strengths. Okay, I need to have this pivoting here. I need to have this kind of spacing here and this kind of strengths in between. And the machine will calculate the best way to achieve it with the less materials. And here we will have new screen, new thing like that, new way of displaying. We also have some AI that are going to be here. Everything that you see has not been designed by any man. It's all done by AI. And everything you see here is just an AI playing with shapes, creating cars. This here is what a man have done. And this has the AI has turned it into this. The man have done, so this is the sky, this is the clouds, this is the rocks, this is water, this is grass, and this is water falling. And from this, tack, the AI do this. So you don't need to have the skill sets that are going to be required to be a designer are going to change. And of course, the teaching of being a designer is will have also to change in order to do that, to follow this. Here, everything you see here has not been made by man. There's nothing of what you see here has been created by a man. It's all done by AI. By prompting to a computer 5 words, you got this. Okay, so this is the future of design as well. So it's going to help the designers into the creativity fields. It's not going to do everything, because design is not about creating nice visuals. It's about how you're going to make it real, how you're going to make it manufacturable, how you're going to make this matching with the ergonomics of the feet. And all this is what AI can't do right now. Okay, so how are we as designers going to be relevant in this world that is changing and evolving? Okay, how are we going to make the difference and continue to make the difference? It will be about the relevance of all the decision and all the choice that designers are going to make. A relevance towards the world, the planet, the humanity, the society, the business, your boss, your team, and of course, yourself. And this is how it's going to make the difference, because for now, AIs are not relevant. They are just proposing you thousands of solutions. They don't care if they're relevant or not. So the relevance is going to be the key to be a good designer. And the decision making, because if you think about it, being a designer is about making decision, taking the good decision. Is it going to be blue or is it going to be red? How do you choose it? You take a decision here. Is it going to be squarey? Is it going to be big, light, heavy? Do I put my button here or here? Is it going to be a slide button, a push button, a flip button? These are all decisions that you need to take. And how are you going to take this? You need to be holistic. You need to be bold, honest. You need to thought through. You need to be collaborative, and you need to be fed with field work. All these decisions need to be fed with field work. And this is how designers will be relevant in the future and continue to be relevant. This is a team that we have helping us from France as well, because Strate, as I mentioned, is from all over the world. So these are all the head of design that are helping us from France, that are flying to Paris, to Bangalore, from Paris to Bangalore, and helping us on all this. And Sarah is our new Director General of Strate Worldwide. And Guillaume is the Director of Strate Lyon that is coming also to teach here some time over the years. I think this is it. I've been very, very fast.
Yeah.
I hope that it was clear for everyone.
Yeah, it was good. And there are some questions that are there in the chat box. If we can take that right now. Thanks so much for that, Thomas.
You're welcome.
Manish Karlekar is asking, all other schools are offering 4-year programs. Is your 3-year program equivalent and acceptable bachelor's degree?
So yes, so this is a question that has been asked a lot, and I understand why you're asking it again. So why, we are offering a BSc and an MSc when most of the other schools are offering a BDes and an MDes. Okay, BDes is 4 years, MDes is 2 years. In Strate, we're offering MSc 3 years and BSc 2 years. Okay, so total 5 compared to 6. What we notice is that our students in 5 years are much more efficient and relevant and desirable in the market than the other ones that are doing 6 years. Basically, why? Because in India, nobody is doing 6 years. Okay, most of the students are doing 4 years, bachelor. And the ones that are doing the masters are coming from engineering, so they don't know anything about design, and they try to learn design in 2 years. Okay, so basically, there's nobody that have got the skills of our students that are going through the 5-year program. Nobody in India can cope with our students that are going 5 years. So when you're doing 4 years as a BDes, it's the equivalent of our BSc in 3 years in terms of skills, in terms of value. And this is not me saying this. This is what the industry is telling us after the internships, where, these companies are taking some guys from different schools, NID, UID, or UPES, whatever, and Shrishti, whatever, all the other schools that are super good on ours. And at the end, they come back and say, oh, it was the first time that we took our students. Next year, we are going to take only 10 of your students. So this is a truth that is happening to our students after 3 years compared to other students that are competing with them that are doing 4 years in BDes. So you would say, yes, but BDes is a more valuable degree. No, not at all. Who is it valuable for? For parents, because it's oh, my son is doing a BDes. It's better than my son is doing a BSc. But if you look at the industry, they are not looking at your graduation. They're looking at your portfolio. They're looking at what you can do, what skill do you have, how can you help my company. They don't care about your bachelor. You've got a bachelor, that's good, BSc, BDes, they don't care, it's a bachelor, it's a validated bachelor. And that's why, skill set and portfolio are really something that is making a big difference. And we are aiming all our courses to be sure on all these industry projects, this masterclass, are inside your portfolio at the end of Strate, making sure that all the portfolio that you're going to share to the industry is going to be wow. And this is going to make the difference, not your BDes, BSc. They don't care about that. It's what can you do? This is what design field is about and design market is about. Portfolio is your identity, is your key. So yes, our Bachelor of Science and Master of Science are recognized by UGC. You've got an official Indian recognized, UGC recognized graduation. And at the same time, we're offering to you school certifications from French, Strate, so Strate Paris, with all the signatures that are going to make it, that are making it official, official certification from Paris that you can showcase. So when you want to go, let's say, work abroad, you showcase your Bachelor of Jain University from India to get the approval for the visa, and you showcase your certificate to showcase that you've been to a good school. Okay, this is how it works. So you can go everywhere with this mix of bachelor and certificate together. You can go everywhere and find work everywhere in the world.
Right. On that note, Thomas, some of the students would maybe consider doing a 3-year degree versus a 5-year degree. Which one would you recommend that they do all the 5 years with the Strate or?
So, yeah, so it's a question that is coming often. Basically, students got the choice because, there's no compulsory 5 years. It's 3 + 2. Even if we advise to make 5 years, in France, Paris, you enter in first year, you only go in 5 years. It's a 5 years course. In India, because of UGC, it's not like that. but still, the engineering of the syllabus has been done this way. It's a syllabus that has been engineered to grow the students all along these 5 years with a curve that is improving around the last 2 years. You know, like we've seen, it's more flat and then increasing in the last 2 years. So what I would say is that, you know, when you're making a cookie, let's take a culinary analogy. When you're making cookies, you know, you put all the dough, the chocolate, the nuts and everything together and you mix it and you put it in the oven, okay? The recipe said 20 minutes. But if you remove this after 10 minutes, you still have cookies that are not completely cooked, but they are cookies. Everything is inside. So this is you know, when you remove the student after the BSc, everything is inside. It's not just completely cooked. All the knowledge are not consolidated together. The experience is not there. So they're not fully at their full potential yet. So if you take my student after BSc to go to work, then they are not going to be at their full potential. Okay, they are going to be halfway, half cooked, I would say. If you go for the masters, then it's like putting the cookies again in the oven for 10 minutes. You will finish them with the caramelized crust and everything, and then you will get the full taste and the full crust, the full experience of the cookies. And this is what's happening when you go through 5 years. After, we've got some students that, you know, are removing the cookies after 3 years. So they are going out of the school after 3 years, but they are putting the cookies in another oven, means going to a master, to another school to finish the cooking. And then after that, they are fully cooked and they are completely to their full potential. So with this analogy, I hope you understood that going after 3 years is okay. You will find a job. I just mentioned this guy that found a job for 45,000 euros after bachelor in Munich. So it's possible you will find good jobs. But if this guy would have made it 2 more years, I think he would have, because he was super good, he would have found a job which much more in a better company even, okay? So in design, when you start low, your growth is small and slow. And when you start high, your growth is fast. So we advise to take the 5 years, maybe not full with Strate, or maybe not full with Strate Bangalore. You can do bachelor in Strate Bangalore, on the master in Strate Paris, Strate Singapore, Strate Paris, Strate Dakar, whatever, or within, you know, one of our partners school all over the world to finish your graduation. But 3 years of design is not enough. And I really believe also that 4 years of design from the other BDES is also not enough according to the level that I see in the other schools.
Yeah. So Manish, I hope you've got an answer to that. We're probably, you know, it would be great to consider the 5-year program at Strate School. Yeah.
But it's not compulsory.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Priya's asking, what is the batch strength in UG and in Masters?
What is, sorry, what is what?
The strength of each batch, the number of students in each class.
Oh, okay. So we are having classes that are not more than 25 students, but we have multiple classes. It means this year, for example, we have an intake of 3 classes of 25 students. Actually, it's not, the third classes is not full, but we've got classes of 25 to 28 max students. So you will have 1 teacher to 28 students, and in a batch, in an intake, 1 year for year 1 of design, next year we'll be having approximately 85 to 85 students, new intakes.
All right.
For next year, 85 to maybe 100 intakes.
Cool. Vikas Sharma is asking,
which will go to 4 class of 25 students.
Right. So next year you're going to be adding space design as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Sahana is asking, she's asked specifically if you have interior design, but since she's mentioned that, I thought maybe you could talk about space design and interior design, the relationship here.
So what we call, you know, you might have noticed that what we call interior
Looks like we lost him.
Yeah, I was not sure whether it was my connection.
No, we can see you.
All right. So till he comes back, Yeah.
So Dion, then can you help with the campus visit? Been requesting on this.
Yes. In fact, I'm planning campus visits to all the schools across Bangalore.
That'll be great, man. That'll be great because some holidays are coming during this, Diwali time and all. I don't know if that'll be possible. Whichever. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be interested at least visiting some campuses.
Sure. We're trying to organize that. In fact, yeah, we've got some plans on that front. Okay. Thomas is back.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Sorry, I had a internet drop. I connected to my phone. So yes, so you notice that we are offering UI. The other are you offering user UI UX. We are offering something called interaction. Okay, which is beyond UI UX. It's about everything else. Interaction of technology and things like that. Same thing we are doing with space design and interior design. Interior design is very restrictive to the interior of a room and all this kind of stuff. What we are calling space design is really going to tackle everything that you do where people go to a space. So it can be, of course, a house, a villa, it can be a clinic, it can be a college, it can be a school, it can be a small part of a city, and it can be any kind of space. You can design, landscapes, you can design, a courtyard, you can design the way the streets are crossing and all the pathways in the cities. So this is what you're going to learn in this space design. It's of course going from choosing the materials of a sofa and the color of the walls to something bigger that is going to be a part of a town that where you're going to think about how the flow of people is going to go, how you're going to put the malls here because people are going to live around, and like that the flow is going to happen this way, and you will have a courtyard here like that the kids are going to play without going to cross the road, and it's not going to be on parking slot will be there because here will be the commercial area. So all this kind of thinking is going to be space design. So it's going from the small choice of the sofa fabric to the big global picture of something bigger. Okay. This is what space design is all about.
All right. Thanks for that, Vikas.
That was 5 years.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry.
There's a next question from Vikas Sharma, who's saying, if we don't have permanent teachers, how are we getting the commitment from these mentors who must be very busy in their professional lives and work?
So, because we don't have just visiting faculty. The visiting faculty are not somebody that we pick and ask to come for 1 week. We have the same visiting faculty since the last 5 years. They're coming redundantly, and they are not coming for 2 hours and 3 hours there. They are coming for 60 hours. They are coming for a full module. They are coming for many modules. So they are faculty that are not full-time, but they are inside the school. It's been long that they are in the school. They have been working with us before, so we know them. So there is this link that is there. Some of them are alumni of Strate, so they know the commitment, they know the spirit. So this is something that we take care of. Of course, I understand your question. You can be scared about this. We have full-time courses for teachers. Of course, we do have full-time courses, teachers, sorry. So we have all the heads of departments are full-time. We've got, which are also experts in their domain and are taking some courses, the base courses, and all the specialized courses are taken by visiting faculties that are coming year after year, and courses after courses, and they are following you for year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4 for the same subject. You've got, let's say, psychology of shapes 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in semester 1, semester 3, semester 5, semester 7, and semester 10. And all these courses are one after the other. It's the same person that's going to follow you during the next 5 years. Of course, something can happen during the 5 years, and we can change in between, but it has not happened yet. So we've got the same teacher that have been following us, because we are, and this is one of the challenge in India, is to find good teachers. So in order to find a good teacher, we commit to them, they commit to us. We've got this kind of agreement. There is we're taking good person, basically, and we don't have any issues with that. You can speak to our students, you can, I invite you to do so. If you've got any doubt, you can go on our Strat_India Instagram, check our students that are going to be reposted there. You can find some of them, discuss with them about the school, about the teachers, how it's happening, what are the commitment of the teacher, what is the involvement of the teacher. And believe me, you will not hear bad things. I just collected the review of, or I sent a survey to my students about the teachers, and I'm amazed. Either they are lying or all my teachers are super good. This is what they said during the review. And something that is anonymous. They could have said a lot of bad things. They didn't, because it's working well.
All right. I'm taking a few more questions from YouTube, which are being asked on YouTube. So this is a three-part question, okay, from Indumati Rao. Number one is, what is the approximate fee for the year? Second part is there any scholarship, and what is the basis of scholarships?
So there's no approximative cost. There is a fixed cost in order to enter the school. This will be 6.3 lakhs a year, okay, including a lot of things, including the most of the equipment that the students, not the equipment, but the materials that the student will have, in terms of workshop equipment, workshop materials, foams, wood, and everything like that for the schoolwork, for the paper, for the printouts, and all this kind of stuff will be included into all this. So it's a no surprise kind of price. Of course, student will still have something to buy, some pens and some papers, something like that to buy on the side. So this will be on the side, but there will be no surprise in the cost. There is only one cost, and it's clear from the beginning. Okay. In terms of scholarship, we do have different scholarship. We have topper scholarship. We've got Karnataka scholarship. We've got girls scholarship. We've got a lot of things that are linked together that are going to give you fixed scholarship. Of course, there will be some allocation criteria for these. And we've got something that is very, very specific as well. It's called the I-Lead scholarship, which can go up to 100% fee waiver. Means you're studying in Strate for free. Actually, not really for free, because you will have to pay for the examination fees to the university, which is 2,000 rupees approximately every semester during the 10 semester, so 20,000. So it means that if you get a 100% scholarship, the 5-year in Strate will cost you 20,000 rupees, which is very, very affordable, I believe. So this I-Lead scholarship is done on a project basis. So they will have 2 or 3 rounds next year, this year, of scholarship with different dates, where you will have to submit a project. So it will be online on our website. You will have the rules there. You have to submit a project you will do by yourself. And it will be presented to a jury. So there will be a pre-selection and a selection and a presentation to a jury. And according to your results, you will be given a scholarship if you're one of the finalists. I think it's 5 finalists that we are going to give this year. So there will be 2 or 3 sessions of 5 finalists. And this finalist, according to the level of the quality of their work, will be given a scholarship up to 100%. So it can be 5%, and it can be 50%, or 70, or 80, or 100%. Actually, it's never going to 5%. The minimum, I think, we've never ever given would have been 25 for a not very good project, but it was 25%. So whatever, it's up to 100% according to your work, and it's a work-based scholarship, okay, with a jury that is going to assign the scholarship. I hope.
Thanks for that. There's another couple of questions from other students. Is there any advantage if a student knows French? All right, so that's a question from Indumati. And a similar question has come from Juhi Garg, who says, do we need to know French to opt to move to Paris?
So I will say yes or no. So now I will explain you how to figure out which one is yes and which one is no. So do you need to speak French to go to Strate Bangalore? No. Do you need to speak French to move to Paris? Yes, it's better. But at the same time, we are teaching French to our students from year 1. It means that students that want to move in year 2 will have already having some basics of French. And if they know that they want to go to France in the next year, I'm sure that they will be committed and involved in the French courses in order to be having the level that is required to go to France. In France, most of the courses for next year, the year after, we will have English courses, but for now, it's only French taught. For the basic years, there is only some masters that are taught in English. But yes, if you want to move to France, you have to speak French basics. And we are teaching in the school, inside the syllabus of Strate, in year 1, 2 semesters of French for the students. So is there any advantage of speaking French to go to Strate here? Yes, because as I mentioned, we've got French courses. So if you already know how to speak French, you will have good marks, and it will be making you even better if you want to shift to Paris. But apart from that, there's no benefits unless you want to speak to me in French, which is right. But there's not a lot of, and I will be able to share with you a lot of articles, design articles in French, which I'm collecting and reading a lot. Of course, I'm reading also international ones, but there is a lot of French ones that I'm reading also that I can't share with students that are not speaking French. So if you speak French, I will be able to share with you a lot more materials that I'm reading.
Okay, thanks. And now one question from Runalini Rao, who's asking, can you please elaborate a bit on the integrated masters, which is the more natural path for us to take as students, right? What kind of international exchange programs or internships you have as part of your curriculum? And also about placements, what percentage of students get placed on campus?
Okay. So 3 questions here. So I'm not sure I'm going to remember the 3 of them one after the other. So I will need your help, maybe Dion. So the first one is about the placements. So in the school, we are not placing our students. It means that if you come to Strate, you don't get an insurance contract that you will find a job at the end. Okay, this is one thing, because we want the student to be working to deserve something. But so all the internships are going to be searched and looked after by the students themselves. Of course, the school will help them. The goal of this is to make, the goal of the school is to make students autonomous. We could help them everywhere and spoon feed them with internship and with work and things like that, and at the end give them a job, their first job, and we are done. We've done our job. Okay, but if we give them a job at the end and they don't like it and want to change after 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever, they will not know how to search for a job. Searching for a job is something that is evolving, and it's now something. It's becoming an art. Okay. If you don't want to just take an ad that comes to you and take this one, if you really want to find a good job, not just the first one that comes to you, if you want to find a job that is matching with you, it's an art, okay? And we are teaching this art since the year 2 to our students by letting them search for their own internship. We are teaching them how to do so, how to behave in front of an interview, how to do things, how to connect with people, how to use LinkedIn, how to go to parties, which parties, how to behave, who to speak to, what is the path that you need to follow, what are the mistakes you should not do, and all this kind of stuff. We are teaching them year after year to search for internships. So the first get to find, the second one will be more easy, the third one will be easy, and the last one, which is a job, will be coming like that. And the next one, all along their career, will be super easy because they will know how to do it. So we are not spoon-feeding the kids with internship, but we are keeping ready a lot of lists of companies that we are working with, a lot of lists where we already had some interns going, where it was good. We have and we're helping the students. We are discussing with students, what do you want to do? If you want to go to Apple and work in Apple in year 5, then you need to do this kind of internship, because Apple only take in people that have done this and this and this. So if you don't do this, you will not be able to go to Apple. So if Apple is so we are making the path of internship and experience for our students to help them to find their way and towards their dream. So to answer quickly again, we are not giving internship on jobs to our students. We are providing them with all the skills and all the listing data on network for them to find a job. And if they don't find a job or an internship, we are helping them more. And if after a few more months they're still not finding, we are helping them even more. And if they're still not finding, then we are thinking about spoon feeding them. But it's only as a last resort. We prefer them to be autonomous because as parents, I'm sure this is what you look for also for your kids. To be autonomous. We are doing the same thing for our kids, which are our students. So we are trying to empower them more than just spoon feeding them. I hope it's answering your question. And regarding the ratio of how many people get jobs in the school placements, 100% of our students found a job, an internship last year. And the year before, it was 100% also in the deadlines. So we don't have a ratio of who has done what, because we're not keeping track of that, of what are the student work, what is the school push, because everything goes together. We are working together towards this internship. So I can't tell you who's done what. It's not something that we keep track on.
Okay. Right, Mrinalini, I think the first part of your question has already been answered in terms of the integrated masters. The kind of international exchange programs and internships has also been covered.
Yeah.
Please mention if you have more questions on that. But we'll just go to a few more questions. Viha is saying today the admissions page of Strat says no application fee till 30th October, but we registered yesterday and had to pay the application fees too. So
it's a glitch. Don't worry. If you did so, there's no issue. You will be refunded of this application fee. It's a glitch. Maybe the website has not been the form on the website has not been updated. So it's a mistake. Don't worry. Just mention this to the application team, the registration team. They will get back to you with no issue with this. It's a glitch. Thank you very much for making me. I was not aware. So thanking you. I'm thanking you for this. We are going to correct the mistakes right away.
Right. So for those of you all who applied and made a payment, please connect with Swati from the DQ Labs team. She'll coordinate with the team from Strat. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry for that, guys. I'm apologizing for this mistake. We are correcting it.
So Smita Kulkarni is appreciating your presentation. She says, thank you for the insightful presentation. Totally loved it. All right.
Thank you very much.
Three-part question by S. Vishwanathan. All right. Who says, so what prior knowledge do students need to have to be into Strat, to come to Strat? Is there any prior knowledge that they require?
So, to come to Strat, what is the most important is the human being that is going to apply. It's not about the skills. It's not about, yet the portfolio. Of course, portfolio is very important for the reason I'm going to tell you in a few minutes, but this is not the most important. Our selection process is more about the human being that we have in front of us. So it's about how the students are going to understand the world and how they are going to be involved into this world. Okay. So it's about, mind opening, open-mindedness. We can say that. I'm sorry for my French here. So open-mindedness, it's about curiosity. It's about, general culture. It's about, the ability of making links with different ideas. This is a capacity of telling a story in a good way. It's about, the capacity of arguing in a very constructive way, because this is what we are going to assess during the interview. We are going to, and also human values. I'm sorry, I'm going to use a very bad word. I should not, but we don't want assholes in the school, because this word, I'm not going to repeat it twice on YouTube, but these people, that are, looking for bad values of humankind are going to make bad designers. They're going to be money-making designers in bad ways, not in the good way, not in the sharing way and all this kind of stuff. So the human values are very important also for us. Recruitment part of our school. So this is the thing that people. So it's more about being aware of the world, and we are asking a lot of questions about what are the news and all this kind of stuff to the student to understand what they do. In terms of skills, skills are something that we are super good in teaching. This is what we do as a School of Design. We are teaching skills. So we are teaching drawing, we are teaching software, we are teaching all this. So student doesn't need to be good into this before joining us. We don't care. We hired some guys that were super smart, but not able to draw. And now after 1 year, they are drawing like all the others because we are super good in teaching them. So skill set is not what we are looking at. Of course, if there is already a good base and a super good base, it's super welcome, but it's not what we are looking at. What we're looking at is more the thinking part and the behavioral part of the students. And the portfolio that we are using is not to assess the skills of the student, but more to assess the story that the student can tell us about the project that they have done. And it will help us to understand who they are and how they think and what they do and why they do it and all this kind of stuff. So portfolio at this entrance level is more a tool for us to understand the students, to assess the full entirety of the students more than just the skills. I hope I'm answering the question here.
Yes, you've done that. So you spoke about two things, the mindset and the portfolio. So, and the skills, of course, you said is what Strat is
Yeah.
going to help with.
And just to add to this, if you want your kids to be having more chance to come to Strat, they need to read about design, they need to read about technologies, they need to read about geopolitics, they need to read about economic, finance, business. They need to have a global understanding of the world, not just knowing what is the next car, what was the number of horsepower of the Ferrari 512 TR. We don't. This is good to have some super specific knowledge on something that you are passionate about. Very important. But we also need to have, what is looked at now is what we call the T-shaped profiles. Vertical is expertise, horizontal is generalist minds. And now we are looking at a T-shaped profile, which is very good in some points and very generous on others. And this is what we are looking at in our Strat recruitment. So make them read, make them watch some TEDx about design, about technologies, about social evolution, about all this kind of stuff. This is going to make them ready to go to Strat, but I'm sure to a lot of other good design schools as well.
All right. In the interest of time, I think that we're way beyond time. So in the interest of time, we'll just ask, I'm going to skip some of the questions. But Vishwanathan has asked a good question. It says, Strat seems to be strong in product and transportation design. What about communication design?
So you're right. Strat is known actually for three things that we are super well known for: is interaction design, transportation design, or like we are super good into this. Like we are in the top of the world. Product design, we are super good. The other one, we are super good. But yes, you're right. In identity, the identity program that we have is still not yet at the same level as the others, but still we are very, we are having some good, because it's young, in India, in the identity is only the second year that we are doing identity. So it's still in the pace-making phase of the course. But in Strat Paris, they are placing their students in the big companies, and we are following the same processes, the same syllabus. So give us a little bit of time to get to this, and I'm sure that in 3 years, the students are going to graduate from this first batch of that is already in year 2 of identity. Is going to be as good as at least as good as all the other identity or visual communication schools in India, and in 5 years we'll be the best. This is what we are. I'm joking a little bit here. Maybe it will take more than 5 years, maybe 6, but we will be growing the program very fast. So yes, you're right. Strat is not our best strength, the identity, but we are growing on it, and we are pretty strong into this, and we've got good placements. We are looking at hiring a super good identity design course leader for our batch with a huge network and a super huge experience that is going to make a big difference in our course compared to others. So yes.
Thank you for that, Thomas. Vishwanathan, your third question is about the vision. I suggest you have a look again, because since we've covered this initially, the start of this presentation was of the vision of the team. So it'll be good if you look at that. Watch it on video, watch the recording again, you'll get your answer to that. Priya VS is asking, is the course residential?
So it can be. It means that we've got a hostel here. So if you want to be on campus, you can. You can be on school. We've got a campus. We've got a hostel. If you want to be a day scholar, you can come from Bangalore and come back home. You can. There's a lot of work, because as I mentioned, Strat is, the curve from being a young student to a super good designer. The slope is very steep. So there's a lot of work that the students need to do. So there's a lot of homework and teamwork that they need to be done. So students most of the time have to work a lot. Like, I'm not joking here. They have to work a lot. You can ask Diane. You know, a lot of his students have been joining Strate in the past years. They are working a lot. So if you're living, you know, in the other side of the city, we are in Yelahanka side. If you're living in Sarjapur, your kids will be exhausted if they have to do the travel every day. They will be exhausted because of the travel, because of the work. So it's better if they can find, you know, either in the hostel or a cheaper version of you know, in the area where we have a lot of PGs that are there that are good. On some of our students, they prefer to be in the PGs than in the hostel because it's cheaper. And this is the way the family wants to deal with the finance of the student. So there is a lot of opportunities here. So what I would say is that you can go back every day. Some students are doing. I would say 25% of our students are going every day back home. I would say 75% are staying in our hostel. So we've got two hostels, one that is on the campus and one that is 15 minutes away from the campus.
All right. So Mrinali,
sorry, so just to add, but we've got students coming from Ebal on the north of Bangalore that are traveling every day. It's only a 30-minute journey because the highway is there. So it's feasible. It depends on where you stay in Bangalore, but it's feasible. If you are in the good part of Bangalore compared to where we are in Yelahanka, it's possible.
Right. What's the hostel fees? Any idea?
So hostel fees is evolving because it's a third party that is running the hostel. We are not running directly the hostel because we are an education company, education school. We are not a hostel management company. So the hostel this year is 17.5 thousand rupees, fully included. So we've got the four meals, you know, breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. You've got internet high speed. You've got laundry. You've got for to be in the campus in a nice, really nice campus, really nice hostel. So we know that it's not the cheapest version of the hostel, but it's a good hostel. It's a really good hostel. It's not, you know, the small jail-like hostel that you can find maybe in the center of the city. Here we've got space. We're in a little bit, so it's a little bit bigger and wider with big windows and things like that. So it's a nice campus. Come and visit. You will see that it's worth the price. We don't hear you, Dion.
Yeah, Manish is asking, does the fees remain the same if a student completes across Dhaka, Paris, or Bangalore?
Yes. So there is different version for that. Okay, we've got what we call the exchange, where, you know, for example, you are a student in Strate Bangalore and you want to spend 1 year in Paris and come back. Then the fees, you are an exchange student, so the fees are still paid at the same origin of the school. Okay, if you want to graduate, you know, like do the master in Paris, then you will stop being a student of Strate Bangalore for rules reason. Right? It's you know. UGC and things like that reason. So you will stop to be a student from Strate Bangalore and you will become a student of Strate Paris for the master. So then you will have to pay the fees of Strate Paris, which are not really much bigger. You know, it's not like in US where, you know, if you're a foreigner, you have to pay double or triple the price of the localites. Here in Strate, it's not the same. You pay a foreigner will pay the same price than the French students. So you will not have a big surprise. I think the difference will be 1.5 lakhs from the fees of India to the fees of France, which is not, it is a big deal, but it's not like going to US where it's triple the price. So you got two options. One is you're an exchange student for 1 year and you come back, then it's the same cost. You're still part of the same graduation syllabus. Or if you want to change completely and be graduated from the other institution, then you change and you are paying their fees. Okay.
Thank you, Tomasz.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now there are two questions. One is from Viha and the other one is from Jyoti. All right. So Viha asking, in the previous webinar, you mentioned that you'll be starting animation in 2023. All right. And Jyoti is saying in the previous webinar, you said you will be starting a fashion school in 2020.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So did I say I'm going to start animation in 2023?
I don't recall. I'm not sure, but
no,
maybe animation school or something was going to come down.
Yeah, so there is discussion. So, we are looking at, Strate belongs to a big education, the second largest educational group of the world called Galileo. Okay, that is changed name like a few days ago. It has been bought. But we are part of a big school, of a big complex where there is a lot of schools. And we are having here 19 acres around the school that is going to be a very big international complex. This is the plan. So we are going to welcome a lot of different high-end schools internationally in this plot in order to make this a big complex. This is what the plan is. And we've got a fashion school that was supposed to come last year. That has been postponed because of the pandemic was still there a little bit, and there was a shadow of the pandemic. So they are going to come next year, normally, if everything goes well. If everything goes well, they are going to be with us starting from July. There will be, it's called Atelier Chardon-Savard. It's one of the best Parisian fashion school. They are going to come here in India with us mostly next year. So I will confirm this. Don't take it as a sure news. It's something that needs to be still confirmed because we need to have the approval from Jane University for welcoming this school. And for animation, I don't think I said that we were going to start animation. We are looking at making animation, but the thing is that animation is not one of the big. What we are going to start, what we might start, is something called. Actually, it's animation, but not animation in the way that Spider-Man jumping from one building to another. It will be corporate animation that we might start next year. It means that to envision the corporate communications in terms of visuals and all this kind of stuff. So it will be more corporate visualization. So basically, it's the same skills, okay, moving cameras and traveling and shooting and all this kind of stuff, and making computerized and CG graphics and all this kind of stuff. It's basically the same skill, but with different purpose. So it will be more corporate oriented than making movies and Spider-Man and things like that. So this is something that we were not going to aim at because there's so many schools that are doing this super good. So that I don't think Strate will be able to compete. Oh, sorry, I don't have power anymore. We'll be able to compete with them very quickly. So we don't want to go into this competition. We prefer to do something that is niche, that nobody's doing. That is animation for corporates. That is really something that the corporate industry is looking for in the coming years. So this is something that we are looking at for next year. It will be, we'll have the decision in few months.
All right, that's good. I think we've really gone beyond time, so we'll just end this quickly. So Vishwanathan is saying, I meant if Vishwanathan, I not understood your question very clearly. If you could ask your first question about.
Yeah, what I meant was that, the same team had started Rubica. So, any design school depends on the vision and the management team. So, what is the commitment of the management team to Jane? Or Jane University's commitment to the management team?
So Jane University got nothing to do in the management of the school. They are not responsible for our courses, syllabus, and choice of teacher, on the way we teach. They are helping us on the academic part, to be fulfilling the UGC requirements. They are helping us, and there are huge support for that. But in terms of what we teach and how we teach it, this is just Strate.
I meant in terms of how is the management committed to stay for long? Do you have staying for long?
Yeah. So I'm the head of the school. So I just spent 5 years. I had a 5-year contract. So my contract ended beginning of September. I just renewed it for another few years. So I renewed it for another 5 years. So I'm planning to be there. I don't know what the future is going to come. Maybe I will be there for 1 year because I don't know, some bad things can happen. I don't know what. But for now, the plan is to be there for the next 5 years. And the other guys that were with me are happy of what we are doing here. So they are not planning to leave. Edmund, one of our teacher, HOD, is leaving, but he has been replaced by someone that is super good that we have changed. We took 6 months to find a good person to replace Edmund. and we found it. So Edmond is leaving at the end of this month, and we've got a replacement since 1 month and a half. So the guy is with Navneet. He's super good, and he's going to make a big addition to the school. So of course, people are going to move. And you were speaking about DSK and Rubica at this time that is now shut down. When we started it, we had a super big team that is nearly what we have here. Is mostly half of it is the person that I have with me. And that DSK was one of the best school during 2008 to 2014, 15, before it started to shut down. And it started to shut down not because of the people that were running the school, but because of the finance people above it, Mr. Kulkarni, who had some trouble with the politic and finance scene that makes some big, huge shadow on the name of the school that make it drop down. Okay, so it was not because of the team that was running the school, because even if the team has been changed and evolved along this nearly 12 years of running, what makes put the school down was the shadow of the finance man that was on the name of the school, DSK. DSK was becoming a infamous name, so nobody wanted to go to this school. This is why it went down, not because of the team. So don't worry. Here we are. I'm a old enough manager now to run my school with process. So I'm setting up processes in place that are not depending on the person. So if I leave tomorrow, I'm leaving behind me books and files and softwares and on the methods to run the school that are going to leave the school run. Of course, if they take a chimpanzee to make my job, it's not going to run. But if they took someone that is pretty smart enough, it will run, because all the process have been set and the school is running now on a real well-oiled process, methodology, process, everything is written. Of course, we're evolving it every year. So every year, if a chimpanzee take my place, it might evolve in a bad way. I agree with you. But I'm here, I mentioned to you, I'm here for the next 5 years. So I think we are safe for the next 5 years, hopefully, if nothing like the economic crisis is coming, and if it's not crushing all of us down, we should be running this school very good for the next 5 years.
All right, thanks for that. And the last question is from Viha. Can we apply for BSc and then later continue masters there, meaning take the decision later? First, join BSc and then decide whether we want to do MSc.
Sorry, can you repeat it? There was a glitch, so I didn't hear.
Yeah, so the question is, can we just join for BSc and take a decision to do MSc at a later stage?
Of course. Even if you tell me that you want to join for 5 years and after 3 years you decide to change, we are not going to burn your house and do something. You at the end, the students decide what they want. There's no commitments at the beginning, so you decide and you see. First, you come to the first third year, and if you want to continue, you continue. If you don't want to continue, you don't continue. There's no commitment, like a contract. Oh, you're coming for 5 years. No, it's not the way. So you can come for 3 years and decide after. Yes, no issue.
Dion, can I ask one question?
Go ahead.
Okay. In case a student, in the interview, you figure that it doesn't work, can the student apply again next year?
Yeah. No issue.
Okay.
We are happy to see a student that is, committed enough to try again and to see, and we will be happy if it's not working in 2020 and it's working in 2021. We are going to be super happy to see that the students have worked, have progressed, and that is now reaching what we are looking for. And we'll be very happy to welcome him or her at this time. No issue.
All right. Thank you.
It's not because there is I would say, alignments of planets. Sometimes you are too young, sometimes you are not a good time, a good moment. So try again. And if it's working, it's good. So of course, please apply again if you want to.
Thank you.
All right. So on those lines, thank you so much, Thomas, for taking this. We've gone way beyond time, but since the questions were coming in, I was happy to extend further. Thanks so much for patiently answering all the questions and
my pleasure
for us. Thomas, since there's a request from the from the parents to come and visit Strate, we would probably organize one visit sometime, maybe the next month, if possible.
Yes, please welcome. Just let us know like that we can organize some stuff and maybe activity if you come with the students to make the students discover a bit more our way of teaching. So let's plan it together, and we'll be happy to welcome you. We can do that on a weekend, to be able to welcome the parents as well. So just keep me updated with the dates, and we will manage it.
All right. And finally, for those who are still here, I've just pasted the application link to Strate School of Design. Please click on that link and apply for that as soon as possible. Right? All the best. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye.